So think about the word dread, and what the connotation of that is like, that is bad. So I'm dreading doing the dishes. Dishes are bad. I'm dreading doing routine. Routine is bad. So something that just is what it is. The mind grabs onto it and it makes an evaluation, right? It makes a judgment call about it, if it's good or bad. And then that judgment creates additional emotions on top of the primary experience we would have experienced just doing the dishes. And so we are adding something, and we're unable to clear the resistance we have towards doing the dishes, which was below. So let me say this again. So I'm going to do the dishes or my routine, and I might have a certain resistance about it that might not be as big as I think it is. But then the mind says, and it's bad, and it makes it almost bigger when it does that. So it adds additional layers on top of it. And then it just becomes this whole thing where we're afraid more of the concept of something than the actual activity. We're afraid of how we're going to feel about something than actually doing that thing. And so to answer your question, how to do something we dread, like a routine, same things over and over again in the house maybe or outside, we want to start looking at, are the judgments I'm making about it true? And am I using words that I have prior associations of negativity to? So dread. So instead of dread, start looking at what is the actual sensation you're feeling when you think about doing that. Maybe it's the throat tightens up or the stomach gets tense. Look at that and then start looking at through your direct experience as a sensation. So what dread is doing, that word is protecting you. It's keeping you here in the land of concepts, in the land of intellect, and it's protecting you from even finding the feeling that you're having, feeling it through, taking care of it, and allowing it. And so once we do that, you could probably do the dishes without it even causing anything, because that will be cleared. And then it might just be a beautiful meditation practice. I remember once when I was doing the dishes, this is about 5 years ago, and I was still thinking, and I was working closely with the teacher at that time. And I just had this thought, I really need to practice what I'm being taught here. I really need to slow down as I do these dishes. And something unlocked as I said that. It was a realization deeper than the words I used. And suddenly I started doing the dishes in slow motion. And it was so pleasant and enjoyable. I can't explain it to you. It was such a beautiful experience. I can never forget it because it almost felt like unreal. And so it's not the actual activity that causes us the pain. It's the way that we're doing it. It's the relationship we have to it, just like the relationship we have to our feelings. So I gave an example of this time I did dishes and it was amazing. And then there are other times I've done dishes and it was just, I don't want to do this. Neither of those times did it have anything to do with the dishes, right? It had everything to do with me. And then I think it's the dishes. So I can have these experiences as opportunities to learn about my disposition, how I'm doing in a given moment. Yeah, great question. I'm glad you asked. Then we don't have to fear dread as much, like, oh, dread, that's just a word. Am I afraid of a word or am I afraid of a sensation?